Okay, so on this project, this is just one of the random projects that I tend to do. On this one I'm actually going to be building up, I'm going to be making a lamp, an RGB lamp. I've already put the power supply connector in. This is the base for it. These are the segments. It's basically like a stained plastic Perspex-y stuff. Using the strip lights, these ones here, just cutting out how many I need. I'm putting them on the intersections here, which will be covered by these little inserts, chrome inserts, and then be built up from there. And when it's done, it should look something similar to that. Like I say, the base, that was a clear plastic. I just spray painted that inside and out. I'm not sure what I'm going to put in there yet, because like I say, it's going to be quite tall. So what I'm going to do is, anyways, I'm going to that's the controller we're going to be using. You can actually buy these on eBay as well. I'm going to be taking these wires off. I've set the controller because it's got an actual EEPROM on there by Atmel. So it actually stores the data of the last settings. So I've stuck it on the fade and slow, so it'll change colours really slowly. Now I've set it to R1, so I'm actually going to be taking these off. I may add the a different sensor onto the infrared sensor, but I will be taking these off, and I'll be taking this connector off here as well. And then I'll be using this really fine, very fine. I'm trying to see if you can see it. Move this out of the way. Yeah, it's a very fine copper wire. I think it's 0.25. I could be wrong. Might be thinner. Might be 0.12. Something like that. It's really fine. It's probably as fine as a human hair. But I'm going to be using this for connecting the strips up. Like I say, each section, they're all built up the same. So the idea is, with the lights facing inwards, you see, and then these caps going over there, you see, you won't actually be able to detect where the light's coming from. It should light up fully and evenly as well, which is basically the idea. So what I'll do, I'll solder those up, the wires. I don't know whether you've used these before, but on your strips, you've basically got your you have 12 volt, which one's your top one, and then you've got your green, then your red, then your blue. So they're just going to be linked. I'm going to string them through the middle. As long as they're getting power, they should be okay. So I'm just going to string them up by the middle and have a little bit of a loop in there as well, so you don't see the wires. So what I'll do is, rather than boring you with my soldering skills and things, I'm going to start to build them up, and then I'll show you where we've gotten to next. Okay, so this is what I've came up with. I give up with the wire because it kept snapping. Which means I find it's too brittle. The reason I was going to use this wire is so that you couldn't see the wires through the through touching the sides and things like that, just to keep them central. So I did away with them, and I've made like a connector, so I can easily put them all together. And obviously inside the tubes I've added the connectors, so I can just connect it up. I've done that on all the pieces. There's 4 pieces all in all. So what I'll do actually, I've also changed the II sensor as well. I've changed this one because these are a lot more powerful. They've got a better pickup. Even when it's in a lit up environment, they'll still pick up the infrared light. So I've did away with the original one. It's no good. Like I say, I've got loads of these things as well. What I'll do is, let me get the bottom piece. 12 volt. So that wants to go. I'm trying to think which way. Big piece. So I'll have to go through first. So basically, I'll just feed these through. And just build it up. And we'll test it whilst we go. So 12 volts on the top on there, so I'll just bend this over. can see it just connects up like that. I don't really need to move about the infrared, it'll still pick up the light, but I'll just move it slightly, just so it'll definitely get the light. So I'll just close this up, and what I'm going to have to do is also stick these in segments as well. The bottom ones are quite tight, but the top ones aren't. I'm just going to plug this light a second so I can power this up just to check whether it's working. It should be. As you can see, it's already changing colours. Obviously I've got a remote for this, and it'll pick it up no matter what. Different colours, so we've got red there, brightness. That's supposed to be green. I believe the reason I got the reel of these strips are cheap is because somebody did actually stuck on the RGB LEDs, the surface mounts, the wrong way around. So the green and the blue are actually backwards. Obviously there's the green. Still a bit low, I could probably turn on more than that. And if we just switch it on to the fade, it'll slowly fade in and out of the colours. What I'm going to do now is actually, what I'll do, I'll stick it later. I'll just quickly build it up and show you what the final result should look like. So I'll slide the next piece in. Actually, I'm missing, before I do that, right, I've only just realised, but 2 of the wires have just came off. 2 of the wires have just come off here, so I'm going to have to change, resolder them. It's quite hard to do these onto here because the wires inside here are quite close. I didn't want to have loads of loose wires. I needed to keep them nice and tight, so the idea is that they run up the centre, so when we actually light the unit up when it's finished, you shouldn't actually be able to see the wires. It's not hot enough yet. This is probably the most fiddliest part, welding these wires up, stripping the wires and the soldering. The most painstaking part of it all. Solder nine's just starting to get warm now. Okay, so that should do the trick. So the pink one's a 12 volt, which is the top. Just check that none of the other ones have come loose. Like I say, I've just quickly done it just to get them done, so they should be fine. Okay, I'll unplug that now and just quickly check that. Okay, so the top ones are working now. And I'll slide the next one in, which should be this piece. It's going to get a bit tall, so you probably won't be able to see the rest of it. My camera's a little bit close, so I can't really move it. One of the colours has come off somewhere. Again, like I said, I did build this up and it was okay, but I think when I come pulling it apart, I've knocked some of the wires off. Must be fine there. Blue's gone somewhere. Yeah, I see the problem. It was that last piece that I did, I hadn't actually put it on back right. That's what happens when you try and rush things. Job's worth doing, it's worth doing right the first time, so they say. Let's leave that in there actually. Right, before I do that, I'll just check first. There we go. Right, all the colours are there now, so we're all good. So I'll plug this one back in, 12 volt being at the top. Also, the way I've done this is I've angled them slightly off at like 60 degrees from each one, just to help twist the wires up inside. Like I say, that way the light can pass past the wires and it shouldn't create any shadows inside. Shouldn't, I say, but it possibly could. Take this one around to there. So check which side the 12 volts on. Bottom side. And the next piece, take that round another 60 degrees. This one's going to be a bit tight to get on. Maybe the reason why they came off before, because it was a little bit short of this wire. I didn't have much of it. I did have quite a bit of it before, but I've used it on other projects, so I've only got a small amount now. And like I say, I didn't intend on originally using these, but as you can see, like I say, the wire's maintaining roughly in the middle, and obviously the last piece has got to go on yet, so a bit of luck. And it's finished. One of it should be showing. One of my customers actually suggested building, I'd shown her a smaller one that I'd built before. It was a two-piece one, and she was suggested that she'd have one, but she wanted one that was taller, which was one of the reasons that I decided to build this one. The reason I'm filming it is because I wanted to show other people how to make them. That's obviously the base and that's the segments, and as you can see, they're all lit up evenly. And the colour obviously changes. The frame rate on the camera is pretty poor, so it's not showing up the colours very greatly either. It's actually on like a pinkyish colour now, whereas it's just showing as a basic white to the actual camera, which I can't really do anything about, unfortunately. And obviously then the remote changing the colours white. There's quite a few different colours on this. Like I say, a lot of them ain't showing. That's supposed to be yellow, that. I don't know whether you can see that on the screen, but to me it looks white. They all look white pretty much. Can't really show it that well. Obviously the fade one that I had on before. So I mean, part-wise, these controllers, you can actually buy them now on eBay. Let me just move this out of the way. Put this light back on. Yeah, these controllers, you can actually buy them now on eBay with their actual remote as well, and I believe they're about 99p. Just take the heat shrink off of here to build them up. I was using the see the connectors on these are the these type. I don't know if you can see that very well on the camera. Basically the round edged ones, they're slightly smaller than what these ones are. You've probably seen these ones before because they're the ones that will fit the Arduino, whereas these ones won't, you see. So that's one of the reasons why on the other one I actually did away with it. Get the light over a bit better. So as you can see, like, they won't plug into the these ones won't plug into the actual original connector, which is the reason I did away with it. Cause I say the round edged ones, those. Plus obviously I wanted to minimise the amount of wire that I was using, which is the reason why I actually added the because like I say, once you take these wires and that off, the board's pretty small, you can pretty much do anything with it, and I just added this connector directly there in place of that white one. They're pretty good, these, because they've actually got, like I say, the Atmal. It's basically like an EEPROM, so and I believe this is some sort of a knockoff controller that it's got on here, just controlling the you got 3 transistors here. The original ones on there actually blow pretty easily. Some of them are blown literally just while I've been soldering. Obviously I wasn't soldering them with it on, but I don't know whether there's been back spikes or anything, or for some reason that they may have shorted, but I've had to replace a few of them already. On this one, actually, the red, which is the center one there, actually gets pretty hot, so what I might do is swap one of the two over, because the ones I've got, they're supposed to be 400 milliamps, and I don't believe that the colours draw that, but I know the red ones draw more than what the other colours do. I think the blue actually draws the least amount of current, green being the second, and then the red one draws the highest amount. So I could do really with swapping them over. But like I say, I mean, I don't know whether these actually work on the back, because I know some of them you can actually have press buttons on the back for like the menu. Then obviously you got the different like brightness or level sets and things. I've tried to short them out, but I've not had any luck it doing anything. But like I say, I mean, you can keep the original ones on, the IR sensor and the original plug if you wish. Like I say, I didn't. I changed them over just to make it easier. So that's it, really. Oh, also, before I finish, I did the other video that I did was the one on the relay board, and just in case anyone wanted to wanted me to actually make the version where you can actually control via the BMP as well for temperature. I actually I believe it's on this one here. So if I go on to, let me just connect. I know it's not going to connect to any. Actually, I could connect to this box here. I'll connect to this because I know that one's already set up. So I quickly switch that on. And then it'll be the other HC at the bottom. Connect that one. Okay, it's paired and connected. So if I run that one now, you see what the idea I had for it was this actual slider here, the bottom one. That's sending information back to the Arduino. This is basically setting. As you can see, this is red at the moment. This is just an indicator. It'll basically change. It'll go RGB. I'm using the two colours, so when it's red, basically it means it's if this was connected and you use the digital pin, it would basically be switched off, so the relay will be off. So let's say you had air conditioning. And basically the way I've set it is if the value here from this slider, it's a bit like a thermostat really, if you think of it as a thermostat, if this is obviously less than the actual room temperature, then obviously it'll switch on. So what I'll do is I'll put my finger over the sensor. I mean it's at 25 now. Well, this is going to actually pick it up because the sensor's offline there. What I'll do, I'll drop it to 24, so I'll knock it down a degree. Come on. Just thinking, this box hasn't actually got the code. I've just realised it hasn't actually got the code on it, so I can't use that. Let's disconnect that. What I'll have to do is quickly build it up. Actually it's already here, so we're good. I've just realised, yeah, I haven't actually got the code on that one. It's got the old code on it, the original one from the first upload. So I'll quickly use this one, and then you'll get an idea what I mean. So if I go to connect to the other Bluetooth, which is this one, done, and run the project. Okay, now you can see it's green, and obviously I can hold this one. So what, 20, 25, temperature sensors, 26 at 25. It's actually at 23. That. So what I'll do is it won't actually set the temperature on this side until. So I've set it to 27 there. I had to add those because these indicators you can't actually add the grid lines onto it, which is unfortunate. So I just literally use a couple of text boxes just to indicate, you know, where the mid temperature is and so on. Obviously we're at 25 degrees now, and you can see that the indicator is showing a red light, which means, like I say, the relay would be turned off now if I had it connected. So obviously if I hold the sensor and obviously let the temperature go up, you'll see as soon as it goes above 27 degrees it'll turn green, meaning that the relay would now be turned on. So if you had air conditioning or something up to a plug socket and then obviously configured via the relay, it would actually turn on and off depending on the temperature. And like I say, the way I've done it is obviously you can control the actual temperature you want it to turn on and off at. So if I drop that down, that should go back to would actually be switched on, so it'd have to be above, wouldn't it? So if I set it higher than what the actual temperature is, obviously it'll turn off. But basically it's like a thermostat, same idea, really easy to do as well. Like I say, if you want me to do an actual tutorial on that, I can actually show that. But I just thought I'd let you know that it is quite easy to do. I believe it took me about 10 minutes to do, and the code's fairly simple as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to upload this video if anybody wants to watch it, and if I do any more projects anytime soon, I'll try and cover them as best as I can. Like I say, they do go on for a while. I mean, it's taken me some of the soldering. I mean, like I say, I soldered all the wires up, and that had taken me them fine wires. It took me a couple of hours, and then one of them snapped. So rather than redo it all again, I just thought I'd change the way I was doing it to something a bit more stronger. I was going to use I've got a different gauge of wire, which is this one here. I think this one might be the 0.25, and I believe that one's the one I was going to use. Well, the one that snapped on me. So but rather than messing around, because you've got to keep trying to scrape the enamel off. The enamel's pretty thick on this wire, it's not that great. Normally with enamelled wire, when you use the soldering iron, it'll actually melt the enamel off, whereas this stuff's, it's really khaki. So yeah, so what I'll do is, like I said, if I cover any more videos or whatever, I'll put them up. If you don't like them, just get thumbs down and then I'll just take it off. But yeah, I'll try and cover more projects as and when I do them. And thanks for watching and listening to me rambling for the last half an hour.